What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's reaction video is why the US hates roundabouts. Now, we did a pronunciation video quite a while ago now. I'd probably say 6 or 7 months ago. And there was one person on it who was like, yeah, we only have 9 roundabouts. And I was like, what? And you guys did clear it up in the comments that you have a bit more than 9. You definitely have more than 9. But they're very uncommon, and you guys hate them. And this video is going to explain to me why. Which is, again, is a little bit confusing, because when I clicked on this video, the thumbnail said it's proven to be safer to have a roundabout. I don't know what your alternative is. Let's get straight into it. Maybe you just have straight roads, no roundabouts. Surely you've got an alternative, would be my assumption. But this video is going to clear it up. Let's get straight into it. Smash that like button. I'd seriously appreciate it, guys. The more you guys like this kind of content, the more I'm going to do it. And I love doing this, like learning little unique features about the US. It's absolutely awesome. I'm seriously enjoying this. And it's one of them as well. We're in a pub quiz one day. It potentially could come up, you know what I mean? And you got to be ready for them pub quizzes. Let me know in the comments. Do you guys have pub quizzes? Because you don't really have many pubs. The pub culture is completely different to the UK. So let me know in the comments, do you do pub quizzes? Because they are a good crack. Let me know. And let's get straight into it. Why the USA, or US, hates roundabouts. What we got?
Carmel, Indiana is home to an unusual record. The city of 97,000 people north of Indianapolis boasts over 125 modern roundabouts.
Yeah, 125. I thought you didn't like them. That's quite a lot. It's a lot.
More than any other U.S. city, and they're proud of it. This number accounts for 3% of the country's 4,000 total roundabouts.
Wow.
But compared to other countries, the U.S. is not holding any records. France has the most roundabouts with over 30,000 constructed across the country. It is followed closely by the United Kingdom with 25,000 roundabouts. So
you could say I am a roundabout connoisseur. 25,000 in my home country, you know what I mean? Again, to me, it is a strange one, because we're all going to learn why you guys don't like it. But I guess if you're not brought up on it, then it's change, and nobody likes change. It's always been there for me, so I'm just used to it, I guess.
Could one small Midwestern city become the roundabout capital of the U.S.? The reason can be credited to Mayor Jim Brainerd. During his graduate school trip to England, he observed the ease and safety of the country's numerous roundabouts.
It's only easy when you know what you're doing. There is some absolute idiot drivers out there who just want to ram into the side here on these roundabouts. It's only easy if you know what you're doing.
Drivers were yielding to traffic, and to bikes, and to pedestrians. No unsightly traffic signals and no long lines or congestion.
Yep.
It made me wonder why the U.S. had not built more roundabouts. When Brainerd was elected mayor of Carmel in 1996, he made it his mission to cover the city with roundabouts.
Wow, what a mission.
But ease in traffic congestion was not the only reason behind his campaign. In fact, the roundabout is the intersection of choice for many modernized countries because of its proven safety. Carmel, Indiana alone has seen a reduction in the number of injuries from car accidents by about 80% since the 1990s.
Yeah, that's incredible. Roundabouts can drop it by 80%. Obviously, other factors come into it. Like the cars are better and stuff like that, and the safety features are better. That is incredible.
So if roundabouts are increasing safety for drivers, why is America lagging behind?
Why?
I hate them. They're the worst things ever.
For a second, I paused so much, so I'm going to try not to pause. I thought you were just saying he hates Americans, and I was like, that is savage, but then I realised he was American.
Americans like me hate it and don't think they're necessary. I think that it's taking a long time, and I'm scared I'm going to miss the exit I need, and so I end up going maybe 2 or 3 times more than I do.
There are over 300,000 existing signalized intersections in the United States. According to the Federal Highway Administration, more than 50% of the combined total of fatal and injury crashes occur at or near these intersections.
Wow.
On average, over 10,000 people are killed each year in collisions at them.
Oh my days.
Studies show that modern roundabouts reduce accidents by 38% and fatal crashes up to 90%. So why does the collision rate drastically drop? Well, the answer lies in the construction. A roundabout is a small one-way circular intersection built around a raised center island. Drivers must yield to circulating traffic as they enter and exit at their desired street. Because drivers are forced to slow down upon entry, the collision rate drops.
Yep.
They are no longer racing to beat the red light. Even if an accident occurs, injuries are less likely due to the lower speeds. Take note though, this is the definition specifically for what is called the modern roundabout. This is because the modern roundabout is often confused with the similar intersections known as traffic circles or rotaries. Unlike modern roundabouts, traffic circles are much larger in shape.
Yep.
Drivers enter traffic.
Again, I didn't know these were called traffic circles, to be honest with you. I would have just called it a roundabout with traffic lights. Learn something new every single day. But we do have quite a lot of these in the UK as well. I prefer the modern ones. I've only drove a couple of times in the UK because obviously I live in Jersey now. But it's a nightmare trying to understand these ones. Like, this is confusing.
Traffic circles in a straight line at faster speeds, and they're not required to yield to oncoming traffic. In modern roundabouts, drivers navigate a gentle curve at a slower pace.
Yep.
Traffic circles often use stoplights or stop signs within the circular intersection. This is Columbus Circle in New York City.
I've been there.
Built in 1905, it's considered to be the world's first traffic circle. Following its construction, large traffic circles began spreading around the United States. But because their layout enabled high-speed merging and weaving, they caused more vehicle collisions and they quickly fell out of favor.
Big issue with these circles was safety. The fact that cars had to suddenly be stopped in the middle of it while everyone's coming in at speed, and that's scary.
I get
That's
that.
Gordon Meth, a civil engineer.
And not all our cars perform as fast as others, then they would get congested. Those were the reasons why circles fell out of fashion, and a lot of government agencies went around trying to get rid of circles.
By the 1950s, development slowed to a halt worldwide. Fast forward to 1966. A city engineer named Frank Blackmore of the United Kingdom wanted to rectify the problems caused by traffic circles.
Okay.
So, he developed what is now known as the modern roundabout. Blackmore established the give-way rule for his modern roundabouts, which required entering drivers to yield to circulating traffic.
Yep.
This created a much safer intersection than the original traffic circles. The idea quickly gained favor, and the modern roundabout began spreading throughout parts of Europe. The changes Blackmore made were successful, and over time, accident rates dropped drastically.
There you
But
go.
the trend was not catching on in the United States. Engineers weren't convinced that the improvements Blackmore enacted were safer for drivers, and Americans still had a largely unpopular opinion about them. So, American engineer Leif Arston set out to change that. In 1984, Arston reached out to Blackmore for help. In 1941, Sir Winston Churchill asked America to join Britain in a struggle to protect democracy. We join you, and together we triumphed. Now, 45 years later, I am calling upon you to help me with the difficult struggle in which we are both engaged. We are trying to bring the British-style roundabout to the Western Hemisphere. The fighting is tough, the slogging is slow, and the resistance is stiff. In the spirit of Anglo-American cooperation, will you join us and lend a hand?
Oh, of course, he's getting me motivated. Like, yes, we're going to take the roundabouts over there. Let's go. Oh, he got me up there, man.
Blackmore quickly agreed to a meeting with Arston and traveled to the United States. Together, the two set out around the state of California, persuading traffic heads to begin building modern roundabouts.
Wow.
However, the public was not convinced. Surveys showed only 20% of drivers approved of their construction. Even if project proposals for roundabouts were approved, the two men were often met with protest, and the plans were quickly shut down.
Yeah, you guys really don't like roundabouts, do you?
Finally, in 1990, Arston and Blackmore's hard work paid off, and the first two modern roundabouts were successfully constructed in a Las Vegas subdivision. The feat caught the attention of city planners. Other communities followed in their footsteps, and roundabouts slowly began popping up around the U.S. Although construction started later in the U.S., the timeline of events is not an exclusive explanation for the lack of roundabouts. In fact, there are a few theories that could account for the answer. First, the American detestation for roundabouts could derive from what is called the availability heuristic. This term describes the way people form an opinion on something based on the immediate thoughts or memories that are associated with it.
Okay.
The scene of Clark Griswold getting trapped while driving in a traffic circle and European Vacation may come to mind.
Oh, wow.
It's amazing. I cannot get left. There's Big Ben, kids. Parliament.
Or perhaps the time Homer Simpson drives hopelessly around the Lambeth Bridge roundabout before swerving out in a desperate attempt to escape the never-ending nightmare.
Wow.
Keep turning, keep turning, keep turning.
I see an opening.
No, it's
Only to crash into the Queen of England herself.
Wow.
That's it. I'm acting the way America acts best. Unilaterally.
When thinking about modern roundabouts, many Americans tend to envision traffic circles. This is an easy misconception because the two appear similar at first glance.
Okay.
Ever since the fallout of the original traffic circle that enabled high collision rates in the early 1900s, Americans were left with a bad taste in their mouths. So, the assumption that modern roundabouts will be just as dangerous is formed.
I get
Plus,
that.
American drivers might simply just be used to traffic lights.
We're just used to intersections and traffic signals.
I mean, yeah, it can't, like I said, I've grew up with roundabouts, so I'm used to it. If you're used to it, not everybody likes change. Unfortunately, the fatality rates are up there, so it's kind of like, from a point of view looking on the outside, like, come on, try and get as many in, you know what I mean? But I can completely understand if you're a bit skeptical about it, and you just want to get on with your life, you know you're a sensible driver, you hope no one's going to be an idiot towards you, I just want to drive. You don't want change, you don't have to figure out this roundabout thing, you just want to be able to go to an intersection, says green, I want to go. I do kind of get it. It's just what you grew up with, I guess.
Historically, I've found that the public sometimes don't like four-way stops where everyone has to stop and yield. They just don't like them because they just get, if there's a lot of traffic, they get kind of confused. I think you get the same effect in a roundabout. You know, the uncertainty level gets to people. There's something comforting,
it can do.
I think, to the red, yellow, green that tells you it's time to go or not go.
They are comfortable with a binary system that controls their actions and makes decisions for them. Red light stop, green light go. Simple enough, right? In a sense, drivers care more about the illusion of safety created by stoplights. But when they are forced to rely on their own driving abilities, along with the actions of others, it causes a confusing and distressing experience. Another theory could be that Americans just don't know how to use a roundabout.
Also that, if you've never done it.
There are certain parts of the country where they're starting to gain favor, but the reality is that people aren't used to it. You come up to this intersection, this circle, and it tells you to yield, but you're not totally sure how to use it, and you're not used to the concept of going around in a circle to find your exit. So it's a matter of just people getting comfortable with it and used to it. And that comes with critical mass. The more of them there are, the better.
Yeah.
So I think that's what the main reluctance is.
Many states don't even require teenagers to navigate one during the road skills driver's exam to obtain their licenses. Even in the turn section on the Virginia State Driver's Evaluation, the roundabout portion reads only, if available. American drivers end up learning how to drive through a roundabout during their first real-world encounter with them.
Yeah,
this
that can be
cause
confusing.
a stressful experience due to the lack of familiarity. Therefore, the disdain for the experience is established. Lastly, it comes down to awareness. Many Americans don't know how beneficial roundabouts are.
Okay,
Not
I can see
only
that.
do roundabouts reduce vehicle collisions by 38%, they are also cheaper to construct, reduce congestion, and are better for the environment. Roundabouts save about $5,000 to $10,000 per year due to the reduced maintenance and electrical cost.
That's
They
a lot of
also
money, man.
improve
It adds
traffic
up.
flow. Cars do not have to stop and wait for the light to change. One study of 3 locations in New Hampshire, New York, and Washington found an 89% average reduction in vehicle delays and a 56% average reduction in vehicle stops in areas
good
where
numbers.
roundabouts replace intersections. Another study in Kansas across 11 intersections found similar results, with a 65% reduction in delays and a 52% decrease in traffic stops. Because of the reduction in traffic delays and stops, roundabouts have a relatively non-existent carbon footprint. One study in Sweden found an average reduction in carbon emissions by 29% and a reduction in fuel consumption by 28%.
Wow.
Fortunately, it is proven that more and more Americans are coming around to accepting and using roundabouts. Studies show that once drivers learn how to use them, their attitude towards roundabouts drastically changes.
you know how to use the thing. You're not going to get stressed on it. It's improving the speed you can get around. You're not having to stop as much. And it's safer. Like, obviously, you're going to like it if you know what... Like, it's common sense. It's way better in a lot of aspects. The thing is, you're not comfortable with it. But if you're comfortable with it, yeah, why would you not like it? You know what I mean?
Community surveys where roundabouts were built shows that only 30% of people approved of them before construction. But approval increased to about 50 to 70% after they were built.
There you go.
So, while modern roundabouts may not be widely popular in the US, Americans are slowly coming back around to the idea of them.
Let me know your thoughts on the roundabout in the comments below. Let me know whether you like them or not, and why. Is it because you're not comfortable? Is it just because you don't want them? Like, fair enough, I don't want a British thing. You guys love the British, and we love you too. So I don't think it's that, but let me know your reasons in the comments below. It'd be interesting to see. Again, everyone's different. Everyone's got different opinions, and you're allowed to have your own opinion. So I'm super keen to see your reason why, and I'm sure it's completely valid. You know what I mean? Smash that like button, guys. Smash that subscribe button as well. You're absolute legends, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.